morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. And that's for you to get the latest drip and add something new to your closet. Okay, before we get into this episode, I just want to let you know I had some technical difficulties when it came down to yesterday's live. It ended up getting erased, you guys. I know. I'm sorry. What happened was I was trying to edit something in it, and it ended up editing and erasing the whole thing. It went crazy. So today I have a special episode for you guys, and stay tuned for tomorrow's live. It's going to be turned up as usual, and the conversations keep going. So today's episode, we're just dealing with this conversation between Black Americans and African Americans, the dynamics and the things that we fuss and fight about. Are they really worth it? So we're gonna jump into this episode, and you guys leave your comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, love you guys, and I'm gonna get something to eat while we going through this whole thing, and because I'm real hungry right now. This is a little special episode, so you guys we're gonna eat some lunch together. Let's get it.
Mickey made it. Mickey made what you made, Mickey.
Even as a Nigerian American, they even look at me, I don't have culture. They look at me as like I am just Oyinbo. They call me Oyinbo. They call me all these terminologies because they don't look at me as being African. I'm not African to them. I'm American. That's exactly how they view me. I don't feel really. I have a hard time making friends there. I was there for 7 months. I have a hard time making friends. I have a hard time really like truly.
This is home in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, you understand? So I don't know. I feel like this is my home, but I yearn for that connection. I yearn to want to go back home and connect with where I'm from and embrace my culture and everything like that. But yeah, I sometimes too, I feel like an outsider, so I can definitely relate to that. I've even gotten to like little arguments in like my Uber drivers, and they Uber drivers in Nigeria, they're so useless. I'm sorry, I had to put that out. So I'm sorry. I have to say that. But they will come at me because sometimes maybe I may be talking to them and giving them direction. This is your English or your phone. Calm down. I don't understand this, your English. I'm like, what do you? I'm speaking normal, but my accent sometimes is too much. But I tone down. Even still, I tone down. I try to talk as if I'm from Nigeria, and still my accent is still too strong. American accent is still too strong for them. So it's like myself, I can relate to you guys as well, because I feel like trying to connect, find that sense of belonging. I yearn for that as well. But it's so hard when I'm not being embraced. I'm not feeling like I'm welcomed.
So now
you know what I'm saying?
Imagine that with us in America, Africans and African Americans not embracing each other.
Right.
Imagine that we're in the same hole, in the same
It's the same thing, basically.
I know I look rough this morning, but stay focused. So many people have sent me the video of this person talking about Black Africans who do not like Black Americans. And at first I wasn't going to say anything, but I think it's very important, especially as Black travelers, that we address ignorance whenever we get the opportunity, right? Oh yeah, another reason why people were sending me this video is because this individual also happens to live in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, where I live. So they wanted to know if I knew this individual. I do not, to my knowledge, know this individual. However, the fact that you are a Black person living in another country and you're traveling the world with this mindset, it is dangerous.
Africans do not like Black Americans. So this is a fact.
This is how this individual comes up with this opinion about Africans not liking Black Americans.
The Black Africans from Africa, they talk about you while you're getting your hair braided. The Africans come to the United States and discriminate against me. So why would I go to Africa?
Now, because I haven't been to all 54 countries in Africa, I would never come on a major platform like TikTok and say something this ignorant. If you've never been to a country before, please refrain from coming on a major platform and creating this ignorant rhetoric about a whole group of people, an entire continent. full of people who are different in so many different ways. And I'm not saying everyone's experience when they travel is the same. Some people have great experiences, some people have the worst experiences. However, if you've never been to a place, you cannot then come on a platform or have these opinions about people and state them as facts. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No, really. But I do hope in the future that she decides to actually travel. What's her name? Chef in Mexico. I hope you decide one day to actually travel to one of these African countries, and then you come back on here and you do an updated video.
But I am going to Africa. That's my next trip, to go to Africa.
When you go to this African country, because once again, Africa is a continent, not a country, but when you go to a specific African country, I hope they show you their authentic selves. And I hope you have such a good time that you feel like a fool for making this video.
Africans versus African Americans. These diaspora wars have to fuck stop.
Us African immigrants are moving a lot like colonizers and gentrifiers. We move into these low-income black neighborhoods, disrespect the residents, and pick and choose which parts of African American culture that we enjoy, and viciously condemn the parts of African American culture that we do not. That sounds a little familiar, don't it? Unfortunately, most African immigrants internalize that the quickest way to assimilate into American culture is through anti-blackness. Because as we all know far too well, anti-blackness as American is genocide. I mean apple pie. I'm sorry to inform y'all, but this strategy is not gonna work. Because in the eyes of Mayonnaise America, you are still a nigga. Only difference, you got an accent they can make fun of. If a cop pulls up on you, at no point are they going to ask you, hey, jambalaya or jello, cassava leaf or collard greens, nigga, identify yourself. And we try to pass that mentality down to our American-born children. Thankfully, though, it's not effective because we're no longer talking about mystery African-American. You're now talking about our friends, classmates, co-workers, teammates, girlfriends, boyfriends, etc. So the idea is that this mentality dies the further down the bloodline we go. Or at least I thought it was, until I logged into the Clock app and see that we're still arguing about the same damn things. For my fellow Africans who are just acting like their home country is God's favorite oasis, can I ask you a quick question? Why did you or your parents leave? To get a better life, right? Well, what do you think African Americans want? Only difference is, 9 times out of 10, they don't have the option to go somewhere else like we do. So not only do they have to deal with the same narratives that unseasoned America gives them from people who not only look like them, but are from this motherland that was stripped from them, we have the nerve to do it right next door to them. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'd bang with us too much either. So in the future, my people, why not be a little more compassionate? Matter of fact, let's take it a step further. Be embracing. We have a connection to a motherland that they don't have, and it's a beautiful one. Why wouldn't you want to share that? Historically speaking, we have done a terrible job of doing that. And I feel that if we do a better job of that, eventually these tensions are going to die down a little bit. I'll leave you with an African proverb that I think is relevant. The child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
When I tell you this, since black Americans have awakened to be the real children of Israel, the real Jews from the same tribe as Jesus Christ, when I tell you the whole world got weird, like everybody just got weird, all of the Gentile nations, and this video is about basically what I'm seeing on like YouTube or what have you. Like since when were Africans so like, and I'm not talking about all of them, but since when were they so interested in black Americans, in our dynamic? Like, since when were they so interested in us, right? Because all I see is them doing online is creating YouTube channels, and all of their content is about black Americans. Like that's it, right? It's the same format, it's the same playbook, but you know, I guess now we're all black people. I guess now, when before it was like, no, I'm this, I'm Senegalese. No, I'm Nigerian. I'm not black American. I'm not black American. So it went from I'm not black American to I'm Senegalese. I'm what do you call it? I'm Sudanese. I'm this. I'm that. Right? I'm not black American. To now we're all just black people. Right? And you gotta watch out for people like muddying the waters, and now it's the same thing they do with the whole black and brown thing, right? Black and brown, dude, black Americans are brown, but they try to make it seem like brown people are Latinos, even though a lot of Latinos are white tea, right? So you see how they confuse things and just try to like muddy the water? You gotta be watch out for that, man. Because I'm telling you, there's always, when it comes to black Americans, my people, there's always some type of agenda. There's always some type of profiting agenda. There's always some. So we have to, as the real children of the living God, and I'm not going in to say that, to say who is and who not. I just know black Americans are, right? Because there's no way to find out who's who over there, but I know black Americans are, right? From the tribe of Judah, the same tribe as Jesus Christ. So you just gotta watch out for. It's just all of it's given. It's been given weird, bro. It's been giving weird because I take things for what they are, right? Africans come to America, right? Don't want nothing to do, and I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about as a nation, as a whole. Like, they've been doing the same thing the other Gentile nations have been doing. YTPPO. They come here to America. They want nothing to do with black Americans, right? We go over there. It's brother, because they think because you're from America, right? So, like I said, when I'm saying, I'm generally speaking, right? I treat everybody. I love Africans. I treat everybody with love, bro. I got some ride or die Africans that I mess with. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't a condemnation or a bash at them at all. I just call shit out how I see it. That's it. This is what's going on. This is what I'm not. Obviously, not every single last one, especially not the ones I love, right? Not on an individual level. Just like how on an individual level, not all white PBL are bad, right? So if you can't understand what I'm saying, you don't want to understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that everybody is like, oh, you know what? Let's take a turn on black Americans. Everybody, even other so-called black nations. That's what they do. Like, Africa's a huge continent. Y'all can't find African stuff to talk about on YouTube? No, it's the same format, bro. Same format. Everybody takes a turn on us. So it goes to show everybody only wants to deal with black Americans when it's beneficial. When it's beneficial. Literally, when it comes to like real stuff, like stuff that matters, that like, you know what, I love you as a person, like I actually want to be your friend as a nation, as a whole, the world don't mess with black Americans because we are the closest to the Most High, and it's as simple in Satan's world. It's as simple as that. All praise to the Most High.
So I was having a conversation with a few friends, one African American and one local to Zanzibar, about something that I experienced throughout my entire African career. And I go back and forth. When I first came to Africa, I came 15 years ago. African Americans, we have this chip on our shoulder, let's just call it what it is, and we see what the injustices that happen in America, and we know oftentimes that it happens in Africa too. So we tend to want to rile up the African people, like, come on bro, like, you know that this is an injustice, you know that he's not treating you right, you know he's being racist, and we bring this energy, and we bring all the energy. And sometimes it's necessary, and sometimes we don't realize the impact that it has on the local culture. The reality for Zanzibar is that this is run by tourism, and myself included, I have a company that I bring people over to from the US, mainly African Americans that sign up, who come and experience, have a beautiful experience, and also see what happens, how many Europeans are here, how they treat each other, let's just say. And I used to be one of those people, up until recently, who was like, yeah, who does she think she is coming here? Who does this white person, let's just be honest, who does this white person think she is coming here and bossing this person around? Who does this Indian person think she is? Or he or she is, or like, Africans, speak up for yourself, you're not doing enough, you're not like, you're not angry enough. Why y'all not angry? Why y'all not angry? And then when I started having guests, I realized that African Americans, we're really fucking angry. We're really angry. And we carry a huge burden and a huge weight. And while it's completely valid, it holds us down a lot. Emotionally, energetically. And I decided to not carry that weight anymore. So out in America, it's normal for us to criticize white people about doing this and doing that. And it's brought over here oftentimes. Don't let her do this, don't let her do that. Why y'all? Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. I decided I don't want to carry that attitude anymore. I'm just gonna let people do what they want to do. and on the other side of that, back to my other point of we don't know the impact that we're making. I was talking to a friend and she was saying, well, we know when the African Americans come. We know, and if you're in a restaurant, they tend to tell the other side, well, this is African Americans, so act right. Because they're gonna complain, they're gonna be loud, they're gonna feel entitled, and that's the truth. That's how we are. So, like, let's just be honest, that's how we are. And so that's the narrative. Oh, the African American is here. Let's switch up, either for the good or for the better, but basically not to hear their mouths. And so, where's the connection, Black people? Where's the connection, African Americans? If we are coming here, the reality is African Americans come here, they feel very entitled, they want to scream at the injustices, rightfully so, they want discounts. This is the narrative that I'm not saying that it's a narrative, but this is what locals are saying. Some Africans are saying. They want discounts, they are tripping on the prices, but then ball out when it comes to clubs and luxury, and honestly giving the white man our dollar. But when it comes to coming here, there's a different narrative. And I'm not saying for everyone, this does not apply to everyone. This is individual experiences that I'm calling out, that I've seen in.
And I just want y'all to know I love all of y'all. Much love.
When African Americans travel, based off of my 15 plus years of living in Africa, I gotta get this disclaimer so y'all know that I know what I'm talking about. Based off of my 15 years living in Africa, living in 7 different countries, visiting about 12 different countries. So this is a long, open-ended dialogue, monologue, conversation, reflections on, like, African Americans, when you come here, be open to hearing the perspective of the Zanzibari. Be open, or the African, wherever you are, be open to understanding why things go the way they do, because what you don't notice is, yeah, they may be kissing ass. White people are feeding them. Black people, African Americans coming here is a very new thing. Very new thing, past 5 years. Before that, who was feeding? The Zanzibar, the tourism economy. White people. Not just whites, but y'all get what I'm saying. So be open-minded, be open to being wrong about things, because there are a lot of assumptions created. Be open to being wrong. Be open to connecting and hearing their stories and understanding.
You guys make sure you like.
Be open to letting that burden of that chip.
We're going to be continuing this conversation on my morning show.
Of all white people are evil, all white people are racist. I can't get over this thing that happened so long ago. I'm not saying kumbaya with them. I'm saying that's a heavy burden to carry, and I choose not to carry that anymore. This is very recent for me, probably in the past few years that I've officially let go of that, and be open to new connections with anybody, you know. And in the past I haven't talked about this because there's been a lot of pushback, like, oh, like I'm forgetting about the past. And I'm not forgetting, or maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe I'm choosing to forget because I'm choosing to forgive. And also, oh, Africans don't want us here. There's a whole bunch of that, and there's a whole bunch of false narratives. And if you come and if you go straight to the hotel owned by Europeans, and then go back to your, to your resort, and then go back to your home country, you're not gonna learn. So you're not gonna have a shift of opinion, a shift of perspective. But me living here and me having friends from all over the world, I'm able to see things a lot differently, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. To come with brand new eyes, don't have any expectations. Come with an open mind. To come and learn and listen and dig in. So that is my piece. Come here, pull up, and don't expect it to be what you've seen in the media. Don't expect it to be what we read in the history books. And understand why people do what they do, because they're very intelligent group of people. You just gotta get to know. Thank you.
Appreciating my African American people. black people and what they have done for us Africans. You know, I know this is not very common, this is unpopular opinion, but if it weren't for the ancestors of the African American people who paved the way, we will not be able to even come here to work. If you are African person, if you are Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, no matter where you come from in Africa, and you are able to come to the United States of America and have been able to find a job, find a better opportunity, it was not because you deserved it. It's not because it fell from the sky. It was because the African American ancestors paved the way for it to happen. All right. So no matter the job you have, even if it's the worst job you have so far, it is because the African American ancestors paved that way for you to be able to come here and have that opportunity, because black people were not invited to the table. It took the blood and sweat of the African American ancestors to be able to make that happen. So for that, I am very grateful for the African American community here. I mean, anywhere I go, you know, even in my place of work, it's always a vibe when I see my African people. So this narrative of, oh, these people don't like this, you know, let me tell you something. There are always going to be ignorant people in both sides of the coin, in the side of the black American people and also the African people. There's always going to be ignorant people. But for the most part, I'm just saying I love my black people, right? I love my black people here, and I don't have anything negative to say. I understand your struggle. I understand the struggle that you face here, especially in the hands of, you know, the people. You know what I mean? So this is just an appreciation to every black people. I love my black people wherever you are. If you're listening to me and you are African American, just know that I love you so much. I don't have any form of dislike for my people. How can I dislike my own people, my own skin color? So this division of these is that, no, I'm not part of that ignorance crew. So just letting everyone know that I understand history, I read history, I understand the struggle that black people have been through. So this is just an appreciation to the African American people. If not, I won't be able to even come here and find the opportunities that I have right now in America. So
now I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with this right here. As long as you have your USA dollars and you're going to Africa, you are going to make it. First of all, the USA money overpowers the Naira. And secondly, if we're paying $2,600 in rent over here per month, what makes you think we can't pay a couple $1,000s per year? In Africa, they pay every year. They don't pay every month. They also don't have all these other monthly expenses that we have over here. So respectfully, I'm going to have to disagree with this. As long as you have your USA money, you go to Africa, you are going to do great. But if you're going over there and you're trying to work a job where it's going to pay you Naira, you de suffer.
Africa are you from?
I'm from America. That's what we're saying. Just like a Jamaica, just like a no, hold on. Just like somebody from Jamaica, they're not going to say what country in Africa they're from. Somebody in Haiti is not going to say what country from. They're going to say they're Haitian
because they were closer from what is it called, the triangular slave
but
trade.
Then when you ask them that question, they're not going to have a definitive answer.
That's because they're already in their own community of Caribbeans, the Haitians, Jamaicans. They're all like in one bowl. Just as
but Black Americans are in their own bowl as well. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's why Africans feel that way, because they feel like because you don't know where you come from, which is not by fault by Africans.
We know where we come from. We come from America, just like Jamaicans. I guess it's just more come from Jamaica. Like, what is the difference?
I think it's just more relatable from an African to see another African and be like, "Oh, where you come from? Oh, I'm from Ghana. I'm from this place," and they know so much about their culture because they do this, and this. So I feel like that's why they feel like you know so much about your culture in Africa. So that's what they're like. Well, Americans don't know, because honestly, you guys don't know. When Africans come to America, they're busting their behinds to get degrees, become doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that. So when Africans look at African Americans, they're like, these people have credit cards. We don't even have credit cards. These people are not even working, and we come here and we busting our asses. Now we're doing this. We're now 6 figures, and these people have all these years to become all these great jobs and careers, and they're not doing anything. I'm just saying this is what they're saying. Yeah, this is the conversation. Just like y'all have all this time to get free money, free loans, and we don't get that back at home.
Yeah, but
y'all get that when y'all come here, though.
Exactly, and guess what? We're right here, and y'all are still here.
There's a lot of grants and loans and different situations.
People from here is not getting them loans that y'all come here and get them.
You said what you just said?
No, I said it's a lot of.
That's the point that they're proving. The people here are not even getting it. So it's like, what are y'all doing?
I'm saying the black people here are not getting them same opportunities that y'all come from y'all Africa and come here and get. We don't get those.
Considering
not just Africans, everybody, all the other countries are considering y'all as being lazy because it's like, why aren't y'all getting these? Like, why y'all not busting y'all asses to? Y'all should be better than the Chinese. This is y'all Americans. Y'all should be better than Y'all should be better than Chinese people who coming over here.
But we.
My question is, what are the opportunities that you think that we have over?
That's different, right?
The grants, the loans, the scholarships, and stuff.
We're getting more than you guys.
I don't understand what. No, I've never heard of anything.
Are y'all seeing what's going on with the immigrants right now and how?
I'm confused.
For real.
African American because the Caribbean isn't in Africa. But are her parents African American? Like, there's just so many ways that this can be broken down that this person could be correct. Like, this is one of those things where race and culture are very, like, because Black Americans, they can actually, because of territories, they can be African American and live in the Caribbean and still consider themselves African American. It's technically not wrong, especially depending on where their ancestors hailed from and what their culture is. Like, so I am perplexed.
But Native American who? What? When? You call yourself Native Americans, yet you don't even know your tribe. Where is your tribe? What is the name of your tribe? What language do you speak? Your so-called Native Americans. What language do you guys speak?
Some saying, they're staying. They're not going anywhere. That is their land. And I think it's very important for us to open up the discussion that, not all African Americans came from Africa. That is one of the greatest fallacies that has happened. We were a global melanated planet, which means we were absolutely everywhere, on every land, in every country, in every continent, the countries they created. And, there's been so much that's been done because it's a mental reality, it's a mental world. There's so much that's been done to corrupt and rewrite the story, especially when you see the pictures of who they say the native Indians were. But, the Americas were actually it was like Africa. It was a melanated continent, beloveds. And the ones that were taken out looked like you and me.
Been whacked to be African, and we saw that and experienced it when y'all called that.
So I'm African American, and I was dating this Nigerian guy, African American. I'm 27. He's also the same age, and this came up a lot in our discourse because he was kind of talking about that, like basically how he was just talking about how like African Americans didn't really embrace like African culture, traditional African culture, music, all of that type of stuff until more recently. And I was trying to let him know that like you have to understand as an African American, first of all, our upbringings are a lot different. Because a lot of the African Americans who I would say are millennial and like the generation after that or whatever, a lot of those people, before that, the generation before, so like baby boomers, all of that, you're forgetting that slavery was just abolished like what, a little over 100 years ago. So a lot of my ancestors, my great grandmother, whatever, they didn't know nothing about their African culture. Like that's the big issue with slavery, is that we were ripped away from our culture. When it comes to just like overall education and everything, I feel like this is just a matter of we're moving into a new time. We're moving into a new generation of people. We're moving into a time of information where a lot of African Americans in the last 10 years, 15 years literally, have just gotten information and knowledge about Africa, the real Africa, the beautiful Africa, the motherland. So I don't think that it's necessarily like trendy now for African Americans to embrace their African part of their ancestry. I think it's just the fact that we're just now getting exposed to this information. And I really think we need to shift the focus on how we can fuse our cultures together and teach each other and bridge the gap, because there shouldn't be any separation and like isolation amongst African American culture and African culture, because that's what these That's what they want. Like, come on now. Also, I just want to touch on the fact that, like, first of all, it's just now became cool to be black for everybody. Whether you're African American, blacks, mixed, black, whatever. Like, let's be real. If you go back to grade school, first of all, when I grew up in grade school, people were calling me Blackie, Midnight, Darky. This was going on in 2006, 2007. So, like, let's be for real here. I don't feel like my true blackness, my true beauty was truly, really, really accepted until I like went to college, if I'm being 100. Like, but as for the like picking on African, what I want y'all to understand that that's what was taught to us. We did not know anything better. So we did not know what to say better about African people. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like the ignorance is bliss thing. And we're just now.
You guys know that there's been a number of African leaders that were educated at HBCUs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So that's how deep that history goes.
Yeah.
Is that pipeline is very strong.
HBCUs were critical.
Very
like
strong.
For even Africans. You know, my dad, he went to HBCU as an African student in the 70s. So HBCUs were educating young African students.
Of course, yeah.
Some went back and became leaders. Well, a lot of them became leaders, right? So that's a big part we overlook in us. Even as Africans, we come here, we see Black History Month, we see Juneteenth, a lot of these holidays, MLK Day, and we kind of just like, okay, we don't take proaction, we don't really actively participate, but we do have to, because if we even look at our own countries, some of our own leaders, a lot of our own parents' generations, the opportunities they had to gain an education, it was through HBCUs, the funding they provided.
In my last video, guys, I just want to address this real quick because a man messaged me and he said he was African. He gave me a list of reasons why he does not like African Americans, why most Africans don't like us. So I'm going to tell you right now what this man told me. I'm gonna be positive because I'm going to go back just to make sure. He said, number one, African Americans are lazy. They do not take advantage of opportunity. Two, he said that African Americans are always looking for handouts, looking for reparations, food stamps, stuff that will never come, and things that are just keeping them at a low position. Three, he said that most black people they don't have fathers around, which causes an improper balance between masculine energy and feminine energy, which is why you have all these black boys out here who are so violent and quick to want to rob or shoot somebody. There's no balance. Four, he said that they're lazy. They don't want to work. No work ethic. Five, he said the culture promotes criminality and other stuff.
Can I say something without y'all judging me completely? So I'm black, and I know a lot of black people that don't like saying they're black and like saying that they're African American. However, I'm one of those black people that don't like saying I'm African American, but I'm black, bitch. I'm black, okay? And the reasoning for that is because why does it matter that I come from the continent of Africa? Do I really come from the continent of Africa? Like, okay, I know I do, but like, do I? I don't know shit about that shit that happened way before me. All I know is America and black culture. So I don't be like, oh, I'm African American, because what does anything being African have to do with me? Bitch, when I walk into a room, you obviously know that I'm not white, that I'm not coming from Europe. Or maybe I am. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. That's why I'm just like, I'm black because, bitch, I'm black. All I know is black culture. And I feel like the Africans that come to America, those are the African Americans. A lot of them like to just consider themselves African, but I'm like, because you live in America, there's just shit that the Africans that live in Africa, they can't relate to you because you live in America. Like, you're African, you got your culture for sure, but you're definitely African American because you live in America and you experience a difference living in America than you do in just Africa. So you definitely got that African culture, but you got that American mindset a little bit. You know what I mean? African American. Me, however, I don't know shit about Africa other than like it's a continent filled with different countries or states, as they may call it. I know that they have a beautiful culture. I know that they have beautiful women, beautiful women. And I have no problem being put in that category, except that I just don't feel like I'm a part of that category. I know nothing about the culture. I know nothing about the dances. I don't even eat the food. Like, I'm just black. I'm just a black person that lives in America. So I'm going to let y'all have y'all title because y'all deserve that. Y'all are African. The Africans I'm speaking to now. Y'all are African. And just because there is a difference between us doesn't mean that there's beef. Doesn't mean that there's hate. But we all do know that there is a difference between black people and the African people. And I feel like if you're African and you live in America, you can take that title, baby. You're African American. Period. You're African and you live in America. African American. Me, sorry, my nose is running. Me, I can't even speak on Africa. It would be disrespectful. Because I don't know anything. I know my people are from Texas, Louisiana, and fucking St. Louis. Other than that, me, I'm Minnesotan. So, like, I don't even relate to the down south blacks. I'm a northern. There's a difference between us, too. That's all I have to say.
Okay, what I could say when it comes down to Africans versus African Americans, what we have to realize, coming together is not just one way, it's the only way. And our differences, once we get past all of that and we start to realize that people are just people, and coming together it shows our strengths, and just all of this back and forth, you know, just opening our minds to all the things that we don't like about each other, it doesn't get us anywhere. So you guys let me know about what conversations you liked in this conversation. Leave your comments down below, and if you want to speak to me live on my morning shows, you guys know it's 9 a.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Love you guys, and until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe,